Rideshare friends, to all the Uber and Lyft drivers out there, whether you're on the shift, whether you're off the shift, and you're tuning into this live stream, my heart goes out. I'm devastated by the news that we lost this little angel, right? Nalani Johnson, we send you love and life, sweetheart, wherever you are. I truly still can't believe that this happened within 24 hours. I try to stay up late and try to connect with as many Pennsylvania drivers as possible last night. And we lost a precious little angel, right? But folks, and I'm especially appealing to the public here, right? To all those people thinking of downloading Uber and Lyft apps, to all those passengers who have Uber and Lyft apps on their phones. The issue, the problem is very, very large. It's very, very severe. And it goes back to a topic that all YouTubers, including myself, have been speaking about time and time and time again. And that is that the corporates, the executives, you're looking at him right here in his little fancy Ray-Bans, time and time again, they've heard us loud and clear that safety and security for drivers and passengers alike needs to be addressed. I am making it my goal tonight, and we'll push and we'll push and we'll push this topic to the public and educate the public and have the rideshare companies spend a minimum of $100 million on safety and security. It is my duty as a YouTuber, as a voice for drivers. Yeah, the kid did die, Brandon. It's devastating news. It's my duty, dear public, to get these companies to spend at least $90 to $100 million on safety and security. Your safety and security, our safety and security, right? This here should never, ever happen again. What happened last week to the pool driver, what happened last week to the pool passenger who was pooled with a second pool passenger, both driver and the passenger were killed. This should never, ever happen again on our clocks. Now, when you take up this mission, when you take up this task, it truly is my duty, right? I guess it's my calling in this channel to push for this number one topic, right? Because this guy here, right? This guy here will sign off on $200,000 on buying Uber balloons for his parties. He will sign off on a total of $30 million, as well as Lyft. Logan Green will sign off on $30 million, as well as DoorDash will sign off on $30 million, $90 million, which they could put into this topic right here, these topics, right? It's one and the same topic. Instead, they choose to put that into a war fund to fight drivers in California. Public, do you see where his priorities lie, right? I put these pictures side by side because they represent complete opposites. You have a little angel that we care about, and on the other hand, you have a CEO that I care nothing about, especially after today, folks. I made a video about that my duty right now is just to the channel and to this topic, right? Today, I ended a lot of my work with Uber and Lyft. I made a decision, and I went out with clear intentions in the morning, asking the universe to send me the right signs today, and it did. Right? It is my duty now to get these incompetent leaders, they're not leaders really, to act so that this never ever happens again. So what we need to push for is the end and the abolishment of pool, right? Doesn't serve anyone. It brings strangers together in a car that could ultimately take our life, the other passenger's life, and pool needs to end, right? And dear public, dear passenger, this is not about, pool is not about the $1 or $2 that you're going to save. It's way bigger. Forfeit that $1 or $2. Please rather give it to the driver who deserves it as a tip, right? Don't be cheap here. Just take a regular car and write to your company, write to this guy that you are okay with running a background check. Because the moment you are not okay with the companies running a background check against you, you are telling us that you fear that it'll show some records that should not be there. And those could be criminal records, those could be a multitude of records, could be pedophile, registered pedophiles, sex offenders, you name it. If you are not afraid about your background, if you're not afraid about your history, passenger, dear public, have these right to these companies and say, I will gladly pay the $8 to $15 for a background check so that we can make the entire environment safer for everyone, right? Pool needs to go. I will push for that. And by pushing for that and getting the public to understand that pool has to end and that drivers need to cancel pool trips, it will cost Uber and Lyft. So after today's treatment, after what Uber did to me today at the hub, I got to say, Torsten, you cannot support this company any longer. You cannot. And it's now my duty, because I've built up one of the top 3 YouTube channels in the world as far as rideshare goes, right? In a very short time, right? I'm a latecomer to the game. And it is my duty to push key issues, right? Security and safety is numero uno, number one, die Nummer eins, right? Numero un, right? We got to address this and take this bull by the horn. This guy should look the parents in the face and say, I will do everything and anything in my capacity to make sure another Nalani doesn't lose her life, right? So the driver was involved with the abduction. She's already admitted to that. She's behind bars at the moment. She's in jail. I don't understand why such sick individuals would do anything like this, would try to harm kids, seniors, or animals. I don't get it, right? And I also don't understand how a parent can put any child in an Uber and a Lyft. And when I get to that topic of minors, now I understand that a father traveling with his child with a baby seat and everything, that's perfectly legal, right? But when you are sending off your 10, 11-year-old on an Uber or Lyft trip with some stranger, right? Uber and Lyft have to police their laws, right? They know that this is not allowed, right? But this guy will happy turn a blind eye and say, I will make so much money with parents booking trips for minors. Let's just, pretend we didn't see anything. We didn't hear anything, right? And instead of having little task teams in different cities doing sting operations, going undercover, taking trips, and seeing which drivers actually, let me just see, I've got a message here. Oh, I agree with you totally. We got to see what we can do about this and get them to spend more money, right? This is unacceptable that they are not policing this minor issue, that they're not going around and doing sting operations. Sally, that's the right approach. I agree with you. So, parents, don't be so damn irresponsible. And again, we're going to keep on educating the public, keep on educating parents. Never put your child in this situation, right? Whether it's a taxi, whether it's an Uber, or whether it's a Lyft, right? And these guys need to step up to their salaries and start showing leadership and clamp down on this issue of minors traveling through these cars, because it's illegal, right? But they're not doing anything about it. And they need to start background checks. So Jane Ray asked, what happened? I'm just tuning in. It's just sad to report that this little girl, Nalani Johnson, lost her life, overnight, Pennsylvania, where a driver aided and abducted the child, apparently was sold for $10,000. And the child now was found dead in a park. Yeah. That's all you can say. Exactly. Oh my God. Never happen again. So after today, after my visit at the hub, I just want to also share in this live stream why I'm going to be so vocal and why it's going to cost Uber and Lyft so much money from now on, because I'm changing my direction of the channel a little bit so that we are protected, right? And we start pushing the key issues. We're going to leverage all the power on the AB5 so people get paid better. Whatever happens in California is going to have a ripple effect over the entire country, right? Because once we achieve it here in this top economy, all the other states will follow. So I'm going to push for that. It's going to cost Uber and Lyft a lot of money, right? But I'm pushing for better treatment. That's one of my number one causes. Also resulted in the treatment I received today, Dara. The way you treated me at the hub today was disgusting, right? And let me share with you what happened at the hub today. I went in there, again, with my evidence on my second account. They already shut down my first account, but would not tell me why and were too afraid, right? And I said, okay, I have 3 years to act on that, right? Statute of legal limitations to collect on that one, right? But look at my second account. Look at what you guys are doing here right now. So I started showing them this new pattern. And I had already received 4, 5, 6 different messages from the Uber Help Center saying, we're resolving this. We're going to pay you out. Our mistake. Now, the hub said, I'm sorry, but, we just introduced these new laws. We can't pay you out on all of this, and thousands of dollars again in 1 week. Again, it's like, let me just put it this way. You go and do a job. You spend 60 hours doing a job, whatever job it may be. And they say, you know what, we can only pay you for 10. But we won't tell you why we will not pay you for the other 50 hours, right? Maybe your shirt has the wrong color. So it's just absolutely disgusting the way I got treated there today. And then when I said, look, I understand, I'm listening to all of these complaints at your hub. I'm walking around just listening to people complain. They have stepped up their security from 1 security guard. There's 6 security guards now at the hub. Ask yourself, why does a hub need 6 security guards, right? It's because shit goes down there. That people are getting angry, folks. more and more people are trying to fight for their money. There were a lot of people at the hub today. Okay, I was there at 11:56. I checked in at window 9 with a lady, Angela, and she hated her job. She hated being there because all day long she was being bombarded by angry drivers, and rightfully so, people that are trying to fight for their money back, right? So these are the fires. These people are firemen putting out these fires all day long. And at 11:56, as I go up there, she is angry. She will not help me. I said, listen, just put me together with a manager. Let me go into that office, speak to that guy over there. And she's like, no. And I said, do you want to help me? You don't want to help me? What's the story? Is coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse. And I said, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go and resolve this the other way? And she starts screaming. She says, if you want to go the legal route, I will escort you out right now, right? And she screams for the security. The security is literally in my face, right? Now, the problem is at this hub, there is such a burn rate of staff. There's such a burn rate of managers. There's constantly new faces that these people don't always recognize you, right? The people there recognize you from the channel, right? But there's constantly new staff. Now, there's one security member there, has been there for years. He's the head of security. He was in the background. I know him. I usually have coffee with him. I usually have a conversation with him every time. He's a true gentleman. But I have all this new security in my face. And I just said to them, I advise you not to touch me, right? I'm done here. I haven't raised my voice. I've been extremely calm. I will walk straight out of that door. And when I walk out that door, I would like the head of security just to have a word with me. And then this guy is like in my face, like literally right here, the security guy, right? And I just said, I just warn you, do not touch me. Okay, so I think they got that message loud and clear. They backed off. I'm walking out, right? The guy, one little guy, youngster, probably 21 years old, stands right like this in front of me. And I just keep on walking. I said, please get out of my way. You're blocking my direction to the door. So I walked sort of like around him. I walked, and then I called the head security guy over, and I said, hey, I've been coming here for years. You know me. I respect you. And he shook my hand. He says, I know you. I know who you are. And he says, what's going on? So I explained to him. So he goes, you know what? I have to record this. So I'm thinking, you have to record this? So that moment I thought, okay, legal-wise, I want to remove myself on the building and be on a neutral parking lot that's owned by the property management company. So I took a step away from the building and I said, record me, right? And I did that specifically for legal purposes down the line. So he started recording me, and he recorded me for 45 minutes. He filmed me and he recorded me. And I wanted to get that on the record because I want the management afterwards to listen to that recording, right? Because what I basically said, our relationship is over, right? And now you are forcing me in a whole new direction because you are unwilling, incapable, and incompetent to resolve matters. And this goes hand in hand with this, right? This incompetent, greedy, selfish, ego-driven attitude of these individuals, right, cause this, right? This is the virus and the cancer in the company, incapable leadership, right? To make decisions on safety and security and say, hey, we got to spend $100 to $200 million here. Now, the way I'm going to connect with the public from now on, again and again and again, almost daily or every few days, to connect with more and more and more people of the public, to show them, to expose Uber and Lyft's failures in this department, right? Safety. So, and I'm going to use examples like Nalani, just like they do with the gun shooting and that. They're trying to get the laws changed, right? So that machine guns or assault rifles are kicked out. I mean, keep your handgun, but why should you have an army gun, right? You got to push for good laws with Uber and Lyft, or at least get them to spend $200 million in the right places, right? So I'm going to cost this individual and his shareholders a ton of money after today, right? He should know that. The people at the Los Angeles hub should know that now I'm an advocate for change so that this never happens again, so that pool ends, right? And I'm asking you all to rally around this topic, is that we say no to pool. They cannot force us to take pool trips. Right now, we're our own boss, independent contractors, and we should just simply be able to say, we don't want that to happen, right? We don't want to end up with a bullet between our eyes, right? So therefore, we refuse pool and let it cost the company each and every single day in each city around the world, right? One less trip, one less pool trip, one less pool trip, one less pool trip, one less pool trip, right? Every single day. That should be our goal, right? Uber has not responded to this incident, Tim Olsen. Again, incompetent leadership. Instead of facing the issue, they're like ostriches burying their heads in the sand. What do you expect? Do you expect them to come out, right? So pinch and pennies, you say Nalani was sold by her father for money. If that were the case, he would be in jail today, right? Why is he still walking around free and the driver? So the story is crazy, right? But we got to get down to the bottom of the story. Who paid the 10,000? Why was the 10,000 paid? Who made the payment to whom? How was this driver involved in this transaction? Who were the recipient of the kids that picked her up in an SUV? Who were the actual killers? I mean, I have a lot of questions here, right, that I want answered. And we should get the answers from this guy. But what do? Ostrich method again, head in the sand, hopefully it'll go away, right? Mark Roughton, correct. This is truly the time for small, new, competent companies to rise. So we'll do well there. We've got to just capitalize on the many mistakes this guy and the other leader make, right? These chief executive officers. To me, they are CEFs, chief executive failures, right? That's who they are in my eyes. Because they failed many, many families out there. And that's why I'm putting the picture next to this, right? So hopefully he is reminded every single day. This guy is reminded every single day. You can't hide behind those dark glasses, my friend. We're going to show you the picture every single day so that you start paying attention to safety and security for all. Spend the money in the right place. James Campbell, Torsten, can you get a business loan to start your own company? Sure. But I did that in the very, very beginning, maybe, 20, 30 years ago, but now self-funded. But it's not difficult to get business loans for a company. No problem at all. You just, if you have a track record, it's obviously much easier. If you have good credit, it's much easier. You can also go the route of angel investors and have them put money in and give a share to these individuals. So there's many ways you can slice and dice and get money. Jose Torres, I'm grinding this last month and getting out this crack game. Good. Today I got out of several things with Uber. Game on between me and Uber. I'm playing chess with them right now, right till the end. Until I can hopefully I can say checkmate in this one, right? But I'm going to cost Uber and Lyft a lot of money right now. It is my goal to make them pay on this issue. Wow. Sam says Uber stock is down 5.74% and Lyft stock is down 7.25% today. Wow. Is that a one-day drop or is that like the total? Payman Ali, good to see you, my friend. How are you? Good evening. Thank you for being there last night, and really thank you so much. Payman Ali sent me a great email. I read that today, and you're on to something big there, my friend. Champy Sagu says, we are We are with you, Champy, San Francisco. Cool. Right. James Campbell had a crazy run-in, and I was on the phone today with one of the people in the house, with James Campbell, who downloaded the story and sent it over. When I have time, I'll get to maybe get a little video out on that. But in a nutshell, he was threatened by a passenger's boyfriend, to the extent that the boyfriend said he would shoot him, kill him. And then James was seeking the backup of the police. He threw the passenger out the car. He was seeking the backup of the police and of Uber on the issue. And I believe the police only showed up 30 minutes later, and Uber was just dragging their feet, right? So, that is the issue, because they do not do the background checks on these individuals. It's like friends of mine like James Campbell that have to be put in this type of position. I've been put in this position 3 times, and I say, no, fucking done, right? I would advise you, there is no money in UberX anymore, right? Trying to, Marcus Woodham, stopped driving in October, find a new job with Lufthansa. Great airline, enjoy it, fantastic. Good news, Marcus, very proud of you. Frank V, hi, how are you? Tower 68 says, I can guess what pool is by the name. We don't have it in Phoenix. I wouldn't accept them if we did. Exactly. You're going to end up drowning in a pool if you take a pool. Guys, no to pool. Just pass on the pool. Public, stop ordering pool trips. It's not worth the $1 or $2 you're saving. You are pooling with a potential killer in the car. Look what happened the other day. Right? I'm not trying to do fear marketing here, but this is reality, folks. You're getting into the car with another potential accident waiting to happen. So public, I highly, highly encourage you, stay away from pool. Like Rideshare Destination correctly says, pool it's a pool of shit. It really is. How else do you want to put it, right? The goatee guy LA, I deleted my Uber app after my second fight broke out in the back of my car. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. No pool. Right. Kyle Lindgren, I trade for a living, and yes, Lyft and Uber hit 52-week lows again this week. Good. I'll make a video tomorrow. I'm going to pound these guys. I am going to pound Uber and Lyft daily now, right? The crap, the audacity, the cheek of what these people think they can get away with, right? The greed. So it's not like, hey, this channel is going dark. No, it's not. This channel is reporting on real things. Do you know, like after this little girl was killed, you know what they did at the Uber Hub? They quickly printed out these, quickly put them right in the front there. Help stop human trafficking, right? With cards that they printed. I asked the person, when were these put there? Oh, they were put there this morning, right? Interesting. So that has to happen. Oh, we'll quickly put some flyers out on awareness, right? We'll quickly put some flyers out on human trafficking is the use of force, fraud, or coercion, right? Let's put that out there. Let's show the people we care. Fucktards. No, there was one pool killing. We were referring to that one last week, and then there was this little girl who was abducted, traded off for $10,000. A driver was involved, and then found dead today. This happened overnight. I was up last night till 1:30, I think, in the morning, reporting on this. That'd be a good one, Tony. I like your idea. I like your thinking, my friend. John Sullivan says, I can't believe the cuts that are taking place in the United States right here In Australia, we get paid $2.50 and $1.45 per kilometer. And by the way, a kilometer is far less than a mile, right? 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers, right? So 1 kilometer is 0.6 miles, if I'm not mistaken. So you're getting a great rate in Australia, and the reason is because Uber, when they wanted to go into Australia laid down the conditions, right? Australian government protects their people, their drivers, and fights for correct wages. Here, you have a bunch of sellouts and corporations and lobbyists that are lobbying and fighting against, pushing for the lowest wages possible. That fortunately doesn't happen in Australia. And the only way for Uber to get into Australia was to accept their set of rules. So I am happy for you, John Sullivan. Where in Australia are you? If you would like to share. Alan Makarian, guys, let's pay attention to this line here. Alan Makarian, what do you guys think of the message Uber sent saying $21 an hour? Now, this is probably an email that only went out to California drivers, and the reason is Uber already referred to this as Plan B. They're getting scared and desperate and are now trying to lure drivers to sign off on their petition, on their forms, to accept this $21. They are not going, and by the way, if I can read the verbiage, right, and I think I'm right here, it's not that they're committing to $21. They're making a couple of loose promises. They're not going into details explaining exactly what these promises are, right? They're not doing that. But what are they saying? Here we go. Listen to the legal language. Ensuring you earn a minimum of approximately $21. That's a very big difference in wording, saying you will earn $21. You will approximately. So if you approximately 21 could be 16. Well, that's approximately almost 21, right? So understand something, that you do not sign the petition. I beg you not to sign the petition. We keep on putting the pressure. You got it. You have so many bargaining chips here, folks, right? We're in such a powerful position. There's a 5-2 ruling on the AB5. It will not be the AB5 rule, but we will fight for a new set of rules, and it's going to be better than the shitty little offer that they just put on the table, which they call Plan B. They want drivers to sign on Plan B. I've been in deals, I've negotiated deals. You are in a position of power. You still say no. Show us your very, very best deal. Exactly, deport his ass. The goatee guy, LA, what is the goat I keep hearing about? Just open your ears you and follow the goat. That's all I can say. We have a pretty killer app coming. Yeah, and they don't elaborate really what rights you're going to get, what voice. It's a very hollow, empty promise, backed by a lot of fear, right? Let me read the fear side of this offer, right? Because Uber does everything with fear marketing, right? Help keep your ability to work when and where you want. Your access to flexible work could be at risk if lawmakers in Sacramento do not take action in the next few weeks. Fear marketing, they're good at that. Right, and they are offering an official, recognized association, recognized by the company. Right? Who is this? Who are they? Who do they want to use as their union, right? People that they basically are doing a backroom deal with. Come on, we're not that stupid. Okay, so as a driver, you should not accept pool. If you don't accept pool again and again and again, they deactivate your account. They've done this to many drivers in San Francisco. My friends, you may not know this, right? But here we go. One second. ADR.org, the American Association of Arbitrators. Go and download the forms, pay the small fees, drag them into arbitration, the closest arbitrator that you can find. Hey, they deactivated me because I refused pool. The reason I refused pool is because they were doing nothing on safety and security and people were dying. And as a result of that, I started getting PTSD, right? So I now have anxiety over this whole pool thing because somebody got killed, and hence I refused the trips, right? Now go after the wrongful termination, the monies owed, the stress they have caused. They will, I'm not going to say the word, but they will effing get you back on that platform like that. Just one form, right? You go to this thing, boom, where is it? You go there. Boom, 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 right? You go right down to the bottom. File, go right down to the bottom, file and access your case, right? Download the forms, there they are. Fast file a case. File online. I'll put the link there for you folks, right? Attach the documents. Upload, complete and upload a filing form, upload a copy of the arbitration or mediation agreement, pay the appropriate fee, attach the documents that you need, write your statement. Please enter any special notes or instructions below. Boom, file now. It's not Harry Campbell's website. American Association of Arbitrators, which is, yeah, it's like AAA. So Lyft, Uber Ninja, Workaholic, I like that name, says a system that makes lobbying legal should not be trusted. Lobbying is bribery. Yes, it is. Lobbying are the actions of corporations hiring lobbyists, paying them a ton of money to set up meetings, to set up dinners, to set up lunches, to set up golf tournaments with politicians and then schmooze them saying, hey, my client would like to achieve this and this and this. You know, perhaps if we could come to an agreement, our company could see itself supporting you on that and that and that. It's a sleazy effing job being a lobbyist. I've had them in the car. I had a lobbyist for the tobacco industry say it was the worst thing that I did in my life. And I spent 20 years in the game as a tobacco lobbyist. He said, I am ashamed I did that job. It's pay to play. So folks, long story short, we cannot let this happen again. These guys need to pull up their socks, act like leaders, right? Not like CEF's, chief executive failures, right? But actually do the right thing. I'm going to push for $200 million. I'm going to use that number over and over again want to see $200 million spent on safety and security. If you can create a $90 million war fund and fight us in California alone on your AB5, you can definitely spend $200 million on this very, very number one crucial issue, right? And that is background checks for everyone. Drivers, passengers, dig in your pockets, my friends, right? Allow drivers, find laws so that we can all have dash cams. Go a step further, the company should supply the dash cams, right? Why not? Why should the company not say, you're driving with us, you've done 500 trips, you automatically qualify for a Uber dash cam, get it subsidized, work it into your costs. But it's a step in the right direction for security. If anybody gets in the car, right, and they can see a dash cam, you know, it's a massive, massive deterrent, right? And my sponsor here, they're called Nextbase. They have some of the top second generation technology come out where Alexa's built in, Bluetooth's built in. I mean, it's insane both ways, dual cameras, etc. So I'm going to be doing several videos on them. But, you know, do a deal, Uber, with a major dash cam company that, hey, if the driver's done $500 or $1,000, send them as a thank you, send them a dash cam, right? Do everything in your capacity as the CEO of these companies to tighten up security and safety, right? And I say it starts with abolishing pool. It's a disaster. It's the next disaster waiting to happen. I agree with you, Patrick. Right, but I mean, it doesn't matter if a CEO is good or not. They will have to rely on pleasing shareholders, investors, and you're right in saying that. So I need to be calling out these shareholders and investors, and the guy from SoftBank, the Japanese guy, got to call these people out by the name. Hey, you're also responsible here, right? Shareholders, stakeholders in Uber and Lyft, you're responsible for this. So you've put money into this company, you want to see this and this happen. Why don't you take a lot of that money that you've put into this company and spend it in the right place? So they should be able to look at themselves in the mirror and then look at this picture and say, you know what? I'm going to do everything in my power and make sure that another little Nalani angel doesn't get killed, right? So I will do that. Thank you. I will actually, Byron, text or email me, please, and say, Torsten, I want to see a video where you call out the shareholders, investors. I will do that. Any video I can make to put the pressure on these people to spend money and to increase safety is a win for us. It's a win for us. Looking into body cams. Good for you, buddy. That's good. I like that, Richard. Every driver should have a body camera. Yeah, you're right. Every driver should also get a bulletproof vest. I mean, geez, what job are we in? Guys, what job are we in? Electricity. Bobby Z, how are you, buddy? All right, so I want to wrap it up. I am mega tired. I've been going morning to night, morning to night, morning to late night. I need a couple of hours sleep, and just wanted to push this out again and just, you know, just sending love and light to this family and to this little one, right? And may this never, ever happen again. Mr. Dark Shady, may this never happen again. Right. Dustin is yeah, I mean, look, you with dash cams, even a cheap dash cam is a deterrent, right? You know, if you can afford a better dash cam that films both ways and you're getting 360 or whatever, you know, the more bells and whistles, the more functionality these dash cams have, obviously the more expensive Eddie Lopez says, no press conference, no word from the CEO. It's sad in this little girl. Yeah, I mean, this is the ostrich in the sand, ostrich head in the sand guy. Don't expect any wonders from him, please. If you're waiting for him to make an announcement, you might as well. That's cool, dude. Mark, that's great. Nexo's offering dual dash cams here in Vegas for $19 Wednesday and Thursday. That's huge. Huge. Champy Sagu says they don't care. Dash cam, haha. Do you mean that's what Uber and Lyft say, haha, to dash cams? I wouldn't laugh at dash cams, my friend. Dash cams have helped me big time. Big time. Champy Sagu, they don't care you, Professor. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say there. Can you just... I'm not following you English-wise. They don't care you. They don't care about you. They don't care what you say. What are you trying to say? It's cool. It's worth every penny. I agree with Payman Ali. It's worth, like this one here. This is the 322. It's a beautiful toy, but this 522 with built-in Alexa. I mean, this thing is like, this is expensive stuff, man. This is like almost $400, this one. But the shit that can do is crazy, And then you have all the little add-ons, cameras that you can put in all directions, like add-ons to the camera. I mean, you can spend a lot of money on that, but like, I fully agree. Look, I'm not disagreeing with anyone when they have the 222s. I'm going to be doing reviews on the 322, the 222, and the 522, and all the add-ons, right? Next page. But I agree. Even if it's a $19 dash cam and it's serving some sort of functionality and it's a deterrent, do it, right? All right. How are you, Danny? Thanks for your email, my friend. Appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. When you have Kyle's right, when you have the proof, you'll thank the evidence, right? So they may not respect it, but when you bring in that evidence, they'll start respecting you, right? It's black and white. Remember when Travis Kalanick was caught on camera by that guy cussing him out, like, you drivers don't get it, blah, 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 and then end up actually paying. And the guy was saying, I bought all these cars and I'm losing because of you, Travis. And he's like, it was all caught on camera. It was so embarrassing, that evidence to Travis, that he paid the guy the money back. So if you don't think dash cams are powerful, it made Travis dig deep into his pockets very, very quickly. So they work. They work. Jordan Banks says, is it safe for a woman to be driving Uber? Good question, Jordan. I would again say, depending in what category, I think it's more safer in categories like select, SUV, and luxury. Okay. Then from city to city, the statistics vary a lot, right? But then, what I think, if you have any background in childcare or so, there are great rideshare companies where you can just drive kids and they prefer females, right? And they pay very well, up to $30 an hour. So, you have a lot of options there. It's a tough game. There are not as many ladies in the game as there are men, right? More women get hit on. But you know, if you show up professionally, if you set the boundaries as a lady, you know, and put the rules and regulations down, you can do very, very well. You know, you're more than welcome to reach out to me afterwards with any questions you have. Text or email me. You know, what car are you looking to get? What market are you in? What hours are you looking at driving? You know, what I would also suggest to you, Jordan, is like, you know, Friday and Saturday nights, big no, right? Just drive the professional hours, maybe in the mornings, airport runs, afternoons, mid-afternoon, lunchtime around business parks, afterwards, 4 or 5 p.m. around business parks, where you picking up professionals, right? And not cruising around nightlife, club life, 2 a.m. in the morning type of style. So there's definitely a lot of things you can do, Jordan, to eliminate a lot of problems that women would face in this in this business, right? You can cut out a lot of the riffraff and a lot of the issues. But then Danny from the Bronx says, don't waste your time. So people have I've seen that. I mean, Bobby, I've seen people put a bike rack on the back of an XL, right? I've seen it, and you know, whether it's to, you know, transport maybe a wheelchair or a bike or additional luggage, right? Some people even put those roof racks, those Thule, Thule, the German one on the top, extra storage space. So people get really creative with their vehicle when it comes to add-ons, right? But always remember, like, if you're going into these underground garages and that, always make sure that you know your height. I have seen guys drive in and smash those things up, right? You're welcome, Jordan, anytime. Journey with Jordan says, luggage on roof like family vacation. Yeah, I've seen that. And then people also have, a lot of them have these illuminated signs on top, right? Selling advertising. See that a lot in Los Angeles. I had one of those Rideshare Confessions, those cargo hitch for the Suburban. I had one of them, but it wasn't that great. Oh, wow. Kyle lit up the night. Yellow baby. Kyle Lindgren, love you, my friend. Appreciate you. We are with you, big guy. Go get them. And I will. You have my word. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a little story about me. I've never said this, but this will tell you a little bit about my character and why I'm sort of not afraid of these guys, right? After the army, I saw a great opportunity in these South African, like, ghetto slums, right? They had nothing. They didn't have any music, didn't have any entertainment. So I started buying up these burned down schools, right? That, you know, during the apartheid days, a lot of the people just burned down and were rebelling. They were rebelling education. They burned down the schools. So I did deals with the Small Business Development Administration, buying burned down schools, big properties in big prime busy areas. And I actually scooped a property at one of the busiest bus terminals in one of these townships, right, where a few 100,000 people migrate through daily. And right next door, I had the property, huge property. And I started, I went into the vending business. I flew to Vegas. I bought pool tables. I bought Coke machines. I bought jukeboxes. And I ended up, I mean, I had hundreds and hundreds of these gaming machines, Dave and Buster machines. And then I also had slot machines because there were no laws. So I bought Bailey's and Universal machines in Vegas from the hotels when they were kicking out the old generation of slot machines. So in my prime, and when people here mention bulletproof jackets, right? So I had bulletproof jacket on. I had a bulletproof baseball cap made out of metal. I had armed security guards. I had, thank you, Masarov Ibrahim, I appreciate you. I had different vehicles, armorized vehicles as well. And at the peak, I was running 4,000 vending machines. And it was the most stressful, obviously, and rewarding, financially rewarding time of my life. I was very young, but I was also very crazy in my beginning 20s. And it was extremely stressful. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, if a cat had 9 lives, I survived 13 lives. I was in shootouts, AK-47s, ambushes. I mean, this is the wild, wild west, folks. So when you've been through that for 36 months, maybe at the age from 21 to 24, does much still scare you, right? When, you know, it was a matter of a second or two and you could have easily have lost your life, right? I saw mothers and children drop around me being killed, you know, by bus ambushes, by people that were trying to, Bobby Z, I am going to fight for all of us, my friend. Thank you. You guys are amazing. So I'm not afraid. That, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here with my story. I'm not afraid. And I understand the tactics when these type of bullies push back. You know, you guys may not know, but like I've already been privately semi-attacked by these unions, Teamsters, threats. Here, I've been through the school of hard life, my friend. And if any one of these little chicken shits or chicken heads had been through that, I don't think they would have come out the other side. So I'm telling you, surviving that for 36 months, what I went through every single day, you know, why did I move back to the United States? I had an American passport. I'm a US citizen, right? Born in Washington, D.C. So I have a US passport, so I have every right to be. I might have a South African accent, but I'm a born American through and through, my friends. So I just thought it was way safer. Yo, yo, yo. Thomas is in the house. Appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Really. Bobby Z, thank you. Thomas, thank you. Masarov Ibrahim, thank you. Kyle Lindgren, thank you. We're going to use that for good causes. Thomas, my meeting I want to share with you today with Uber, I got all the clarity I needed in the world from Uber. They literally tried to escort me out the building because they would not resolve my issue. And they thought by bullying me out the building, Thomas, that I would shut up. And I said, I'm not going to fight you guys. I'll leave quietly, but I'm going to come back loudly. Right? I think that should say it all. Oh, Jordan, Africa is dangerous. Yeah. Yes, it is. And I think with the exception of 5 countries in Africa that I haven't been to the Congo, haven't been to Somalia, haven't been to oh gosh, where do they deal a lot of illegal diamonds? Bottom line is the 5 unsafest, I never went to Uganda, the 5 safest unsafest countries in Africa I didn't visit, but all of the others I did, whether it was Namibia, Malawi, Mozambique, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Angola, Botswana, and on and on and on. Done them, be there, done that, right? But those 36 months in those South African townships, in those ghettos where those people didn't have anything, and I was bringing entertainment, I was bringing music, and we're talking Soweto, Maybe you've heard that. Khayelitsha, Nyanga, Guguleto, Langa, 5 or 6 townships that I had my businesses in. Every single day, I'd have a computer, and the computer would say, I'm driving in at 5 a.m. with that car. Next day, 7:30 a.m. with that car. Next day, 6 a.m. with that car. On that route, through that entrance, down that street. So I was breaking up the pattern every single day in, every single day out, right? Randomizing it so that they could never identify any of my patterns and hit me, right? And twice I got ambushed in the car, shirt off, watch off, gave them the car, literally walked 2 miles through the dark to a highway and then stopped some car to get the hell out. And the way, every time, what saved me, that I was able to speak their language, either Xhosa or Zulu. I would speak to the people in their language. So they say, oh my God, this is not just a white boy, like a white South African boy, but a guy that can actually speak our language. So that saved my ass many times in South Africa, right? And I've been through the school of hard knocks. So when I get these threats from the unions and from these other scums, I'm like, okay, you're trying to put fear into me. Doesn't quite work. And that's not supposed to sound arrogant or anything. That's just, if you've been through those 36 months, ladies and gentlemen, I would never do it again. Now I'm 50. Would somebody said to me, would you do that again? Absolutely not. I did that when I was young and crazy. And I think we all had our young and crazy times, right? Didn't we? Out there partying like rock stars. And, you know, we've all had our crazy times. And some people are living them right now. But like, you know, when you have kids, I have 2 wonderful kids. I'm 50 years old. I've got a wonderful, wonderful girlfriend who has 3 kids. Why should I go back to those crazy, wild times just because that's luring me? It doesn't work. This is more important. This is our duty. This is my duty as a 50-year-old who has kids, is to make sure that this doesn't happen again and hold these monkeys accountable, right? And when I say monkeys, I'm not saying that in any racial way, ladies and gentlemen. When I use the term monkey, what I mean is these guys just do this. They pound on their chest like ego, 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 and they just think that they're the king of the jungle. They're not. They're nothing. Unless they show us with their actions that they want to change things and want to spend money in the right places, unless the investors want to spend money in the right places, unless the shareholders are willing to spend money on safety and security and pour a few $100 million into these topics so kids never die again, so that pool passengers never die again, so that drivers never die again, so that, and you know, so they spend the money on the background checks and start doing the right things that leaders should do. I have zero respect for them, right? So I've got to call them out every single time. Shame them. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, dark shady, right? So that governs them, unfortunately. It's that greed, right? It's like this billionaire status. The brand millionaire is not good enough for them anymore. It's got to be billionaire status. And the only way you really get to that point, I mean, you think that the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is going to bring the happiness? What is it going to bring you? It's going to bring you countless problems, right? So if you have all the money in the world, why not apply it? Why not do good, right? Why would they want to put $90 million in a war fund to fight us, where they could spend $90 million and make a charity donation to 5 different charities on sex trafficking, on child abuse, on senior abuse, on animal abuse, right? Well, $90 million will get you more mileage, will get you more love, will get you more satisfaction, will get you more rewards, will get you more respect if you spend it in the right places. Amen, Jordan. Amen. Exactly. I agree with you. Healthy heavyweights, taxi mafia in South Africa, I have dealt with them firsthand, my friends. Let me mention their names. You can look this up. I'm not making this shit up. You can Google it. Those two, Credeta and Cosatu, they literally break the country up, right? They have 14 to 18-seater Toyota passenger vans. Usually it's Toyotas or Nissan. And they divide the road up. Now, if you go and take passengers, and you're a Credeta driver, and you're going into Cosatu territory and taking away their passengers, it's war. And I've been right in the middle of these wars. What will happen is that 15 or 20 vehicles filled with youngsters, 14 to 18-year-old rebels, who don't even know how to operate machine guns, AK-47s, right? They will attack the headquarters. This is like Palestine and Israel, right? So as I'm there with my business, by the taxi rank, by the bus rank, in come, 10, 11, 12 of these Credeta members attacking Cosatu members. They get out the car and they open up machine guns. They'll just kill anyone in sight. Mothers and children were just coming out of the school and just dropping like flies right around me. My bodyguards, the people who are working for me, held me down, lay me down, and it was just bullet fire. Now, thank God you're dealing with little kids, 14, 16-year-olds that do not know how to operate a high-powered assault rifle. So all these bullets are flying over you, destroying all the windows above. Business was shot out and that, but hey, we survived. A couple of kids did not survive. A couple of parents did not survive. But what does Cosatu then do in these taxi wars? They rally their people and then they drive into the opposite side, into the camp, and do the same there, back and forth. You get the picture? This is like the same as it is with Israel, Palestine. Unless you don't start making concessions and agreements that you abide by, carries on forever. You guys can Google taxi wars South Africa. It's frightening. When Uber came along, Lyft is not in South Africa, I apologize, but when Uber came to South Africa, these taxi organizations, these mafia organizations, I've dealt with them. I know how they operate in Africa. I've seen them. I've met with them. I've seen firsthand how they operate. Any naive driver in South Africa, that is one country I would not operate Uber in. I would not get involved with Uber in South Africa. You are limiting your life to 25 to 30 years old. That's it. You're not going to go over that. You're not going to survive. If you want to play the game with Credeta and Cosatu, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now. I know the country well. Mark Roughton, sending you good vibes for the night, my friend. Go relax, maybe have a glass of wine, chill out. And tomorrow's another big day. What are we on? Wednesday tomorrow? South Coast, right? I like your approach. He says, like I said before, Uber and Lyft stocks will tank to $5. He said that. He's right. And then I will buy some of their crap shares. And, you're going to make money. Take my hat off to you, buddy. What time do we have now? Oh, it's not too bad. It's only 10:15. But my bed is calling. So we covered a lot tonight, but I think we covered the most important points right in the beginning. And that's where we should put our power behind, our weight behind, our efforts behind. And Danny in the Bronx, 1:16 a.m. You must be tired. You must be getting ready to. James Campbell, 1:16, your side as well. You guys must be fading away over there. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you, Jordan. You're a sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thanks for the thumbs up. As long as we treat each other like a family of brothers and sisters and keep on having each other's back. My commitment to you guys is that I have your back, right? I have people calling me out of the blue. I have James Campbell calling me out of the blue and say, hey, listen, what can I do here, right? And, you know, I'm 50 years old. I've been obviously in more situations maybe than a 20-year-old. So it's my duty as a 50-year-old, and it's not like I'm trying to be a father figure or anything, but if I can help, or if I can share my experiences, or if I can say, hey, I did this and it turned out that way, or I did this and it did not go well. You know, if I can give back, because I've received a lot in life. I've received a lot of gifts, done a lot, and I'm grateful for that. And it's truly time for me to give back. And the way I got to give back is I got to give back to this little girl's family, right? And I just hope and pray. I just hope and pray her father was not behind this. Right, I really do. So there's some people are starting to say that he may have sold this kid out. So, but whoever had good intentions on her family's side, it's my duty towards them, right? That these type of things don't happen again. And we will hold people like him accountable. Though he doesn't like to speak, I know he's more like an ostrich who puts his head in the sand. And I've ridden ostriches. I have pictures of me on ostriches. There are a lot of them in South Africa, right? They're funny animals. They're dangerous animals. They can kick and kill you, an ostrich. But an ostrich is there, you know, they look for pebbles and minerals. They eat a lot a day, and they put their hand in this and their head in the sand, their neck, and they kick up the sand, and they literally have their head in the sand, getting little pebbles and stones out there. That's who this guy reminds me of, Dr. Ostrich. Let's talk about hurricanes. We send our thoughts and prayers to the people in Bahamas. May they stay protected, and everyone in the path of this hurricane. It's moving extremely slowly, but it's still extremely powerful. Do they have hurricanes in South Africa? Absolutely right. There's one hurricane I was in Cape Town, where I saw one of these double-decker red buses being blown over. That's how strong it was downtown. It just blew it over, right? Crazy waves. And I'm talking the swells of the Indian Ocean are insane. When those waves were rolling in, and all the beachfront houses, they would just literally go into the house and then suck all the furniture out the way, and then just suck everything out to sea, and those houses would just crumble from those big waves. So, you know, hurricanes, I don't care where they happen. If you're talking a live hurricane, listen to the authorities, get the heck out, right? Yeah, that is, you've touched on something, Patriot. And this guy calls himself this Lyft guy that you're talking about, this Logan Green, he calls himself a CEO. And what does he do? He cuts rates in half right before AB5. Pissed everyone off. Do you think that was a smart move, Mr. CEO of Lyft? Do you think you did a clever move there? I think you just shot your company in both knees and both feet. I mean, shit, how stupid can you be? Right? Just when you need their support, you go and hurt them. How do they think? Yeah, we gotta inject a little bit of normal behavior back into the world. It's like our duty to make sure that things start balancing out, right? Wherever we can. So Alan Makarian had a question. He said, I have a question for the California drivers. Do you guys think something is going on with Uber there? Are more surges and they raise the consecutive trips amounts? Something doesn't seem right there. I think they're kissing ass. I mean, you're up to something big there. So maybe they're really like, you know, I mean, you can manipulate anything you want with Uber and Lyft, right? As far as trips, income, and maybe they're trying to show, hey, we care about you, California. Hey, we just look at us as the good guys. You know, we increasing consecutive trips. We, you know, more surges. Let's just hypothetically say what you are saying is correct, Alan. A lot of drivers will be influenced by that, right? Maybe the company's not that bad. Maybe I should just listen to them. You have to, with a company, you have to look at the history of their actions, not just actions within a 1 week period, right? Where they may just temporarily shoot the surge up. You have to look at years and years of history of their behavior. And that's not good. That they don't get a shining report on that at all, right? And I think we know enough, or I at least know enough, that historically these guys have been rather slim shady. American truth, and that is the truth. The west coast of Africa doesn't get many hurricanes at all. And the reason for that being, in my theory, it's a very, very, very cold ocean around there, right? So the storm doesn't generate enough heat over the ocean to start feeding the hurricane. It's really freaking cold on the west coast of Africa. If you've ever gone out into the waters by Namibia, I've never seen a hurricane there, but it is freezing cold, freezing cold. On the other hand, if you ride down in South Africa, on the eastern side of the coast by the Indian Ocean, which is extremely warm, tends to be more hurricane country. Again, the same for the Gulf of Mexico, around Florida, around the Bahamas. You've got a lot of hot water, a lot of hot air currents running through there, and it starts circulating and building up. And it's become a common thing now. Every summer we can count on several hurricanes, right? Some maybe fade away in a 2 or 3 category. This one is going like a slow, powerful locomotive, just sucking up energy out of the ocean, more and more water into its system. The Tampa storm, how appropriate is that name right now? This thing with a kid is more than what meets the eye. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'd really like to get down to the bottom of that. We owe it to her. Really, that's an interesting fact. Thank you for sharing. Journey with Jordan said water needs to be 82 Fahrenheit to form a hurricane. Wow, you see where we are. Got hot water. Tampa Storm says most hurricanes come from the Sahara Desert. Another interesting fact. Wow, we got a great little learning session going on tonight. I appreciate you guys. See everybody contributing a little bit of knowledge. Tampa Storm, any hurricane coming into the west coast of South Africa is called a cyclone. I just learned something again. How cool are you, my friend? Tampa Storm says correction water needs to be 80 or higher. 80, 82, same thing. South Coast Ride says, I can't believe it's 35 cents a mile. It's what it costs about just to move a Prius at cost per mile. I mean, you're not making money there. You're not making money. You're not, right? We got to be realistic and some markets, some drivers got to get out of it. You're not making money right now. Bobby C says, I have never seen a hurricane in my life stay over the top of a city for more than 30 hours. Something's weird about that. Hey, check this out. Tampa Storm says, I'm a certified storm chaser, just no cash to do anything about it. I love it. I love your honesty. I love your job. Just stay safe, my friend, please. Whatever you do, we care about you. Stay safe, okay? Jordan Banks, my daughter asked me to buy her an Uber package. I wonder if it's a good idea. How old is your daughter, Jordan? That's the big question, right? She may not even qualify. I mean, is she 19? Trump built a wall around the hurricane. Okay. I don't think it's a good idea to nuke hurricanes. I mean, the radiation fallout from that would be atrocious. I don't think that was very well thought out. Whoever made that statement, nuking hurricanes, I don't think that was very... Okay, so she's 30. She totally qualifies. So San Diego Uber driver says, I used Uber's roadside service tonight as a Gold Pro driver and it wouldn't work. After 2 hours of phone calls, Uber Cam came through. I recommend strongly to sign up for urgently before you need it. Yeah, exactly. I think James Campbell was being sarcastic when he said that, right? All right, my friends. Do you know what HAARP is, Prof? Says Danny. Educate me, my friends. I'm learning tonight. Tonight's a great learning session here. I know a lot, but I mean, I know a lot about storms and been in a few, but like really hardcore details about storm. I mean, Storm Chaser, Mr. Tampa Storm here is teaching me a lot. Oh, weather manipulation, yes. Right, but no, I've never heard of any like nuking a storm. Oh God, don't even start talking about him, James. Don't get me started. Cool conversation going on. I just want the guys to stay safe there on the coast. Let's just hope and pray this storm fades away or heads off in a completely different direction. Your intelligence says, Professor, I had a pickup tonight that was a drug addict asking me for money or he would rate me one. What the hell? Trying to extort you for cash and otherwise rate you one. End trip, get your fucking ass out of the car, report to Uber. Get on the 1-800, hey, I had Mr. Druggy in the car trying to extort money out of me, otherwise it'd give me a... You just kick him to the curb. Clean up your act, buddy. Get a job. Get a grip of your life. I would turn that one around. I would say, hey, okay, you want cash? You extorting me for cash? You want drugs? Come, let's drive down to the police station together. Let's turn you in right now. I'll make it a free trip. It's a sad, sad world we live in. I agree. And if you hear stories like that, that's sad. This is even more sad. Extort you over cash because he needs cash. He's a drug addict. Otherwise, I'll give you a 1 rating. Let me show you a 1 rating. 1 slap. That's it. Boom. Game over. 1 star. Yeah, my roommate said he had an Uber driver that was roasting lines of coke during the ride. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle assassination, yeah. Yeah, here's why I don't trust the story. So when the guy says, I'm honestly thinking the driver and the father knew each other, just a thought. One of the first thoughts that came to my mind, because when they were interviewing the father, it was right after this incident. The guy seemed too calm. He didn't seem stressed, sad, tearful. Very strange. I pray that the father's not behind this. I seriously pray the father is not behind this. I pray he's not behind this. Right. San Diego Uber driver, thank you for saying that. And likewise, I'm lucky to have all of you guys on board to keep on driving the message forward. Little Kev's Truth Movement says, I'm a bit late. Is there a recap? I would just say just watch the first 2-3 minutes of the video, Little Kev. Later on, my streams, I cover the real beef in the first few minutes, and then we here and there we go back to the main topic, right? Safety, security. We call him out. And then we discuss a lot of other stuff. And it's just the nature of a live stream, as you guys know. It takes on, good night, Kyle. Appreciate you. Get some good rest. Wake up. Set some good intentions before you go to bed. You wake up, feel strong. Awesome. You guys know sort of the nature of the beast of a live stream. You come up with a topic, right? Most of the discussion around the topic happens for the first 3 or 4 minutes, and then discussions take on different type of animals. Like we spend a good 10-15 minutes talking about hurricanes and storms and information, right? Which is really rewarding and helpful. People can learn from that. Live streams might take off in a different direction where people are comparing rates, or comparing surge rates, or comparing the Uber Pro platform. How's it working for you in Phoenix? How's it working for you in this city? So it takes on all different shapes and forms, right? A live stream as we go along. But the main thing is that we are learning and growing, right? That we bring awareness to an issue. Okay, I'm gonna okay that. And that the public is informed, right? What drivers know. Drivers know a lot. Drivers are dialed in, I can tell you that. Very Intelligent says, thoughts on Geo insulting his own fan base. I don't want to comment on that. I think Geo is Geo. I don't want to. I'm not seeking any fight or engagement with any with the Geos of the rideshare world, right? I do think he brings a wealth of information from Chicago, and he has his own style. Right? Everyone has his own style. It's like you have a choice. You can subscribe or unsubscribe, watch or you don't watch, right? So I'm not judging Geo, that's for sure. I'm not judging Geo. I'm not putting any label on him. I'm not judging him. I'm not calling him any names. I'll just say, whatever you're doing, I hope works for you. Whatever you are putting out there, I hope it works for the audience, right? So that's the space I would like to move in. I have a more like general open approach I like the one you just said here. He probably doesn't care about his subscriber numbers. That's fine, And then I'm not a guy that I have 8 different channels that cover rideshare. This is the main one. So if I have 50,000 subscribers combined, if I look at the 8 channels, that's where I'm about now, 50,000 subscribers. but that, I'm not chasing 55. I'm not chasing 60,000 subscribers, right? And I'm on this. I'm almost on 36,000. Am I chasing 40,000? No. Wherever it goes, I don't think you should hang yourself up on how many subscribers. I think what's more important is like, what topics can we cover, right? Can we keep things in the news? Can we make an impact? Can we connect with these guys, right? Can we? I like bringing it to them, shoving the issue in the face, right? I'm not shy to do that. That's my personality, because I want to see action. I want to see movement, right? And it frustrates me that, they still have this ostrich head in the sand approach. So, if we can shake things up, if we can rattle the tree a little bit, get things done, push things in the right direction, get people's attention, get politicians' attention, get other companies' attention, get the public's attention, and I think we're doing the right thing. And by you contributing line after line, writing your bits, your contributions, there's a lot of other visitors that come after the live stream, right? After the live stream is over, and they just go through your messages. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting what Tampa Storm says. This is interesting what Bobby Z says here. So, as long as the latecomers, even if it's 4 or 5 weeks, somebody stumbles on this video and learns something, we have achieved something, right? If we can make a difference or flip a switch in a guy's head and bring more awareness to this. If someone just went out and bought a Dashcam based on this live feed, for example, right? Just one Dashcam. If someone just went out and spent $20 to $300 on a Dashcam because they happened to read a thread where for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, people were talking about dash cams and how important they are. And then they say, wow, you know what? That makes me think. I don't have one. I will go to Best Buy tomorrow and buy a dash cam. And he or she goes out, and in 5 or 6 months' time, that dash cam that was bought based on this conversation saved their life, or got them the evidence that they needed, or filmed the evidence that they could hand over to police to capture a guy or save someone's life, then it was worth it, right? Someone could be seeing this video in 10 years when Uber has been bankrupted. 100% right, Johnny. I love you thinking. Somebody could see this video in 10 years' time. Maybe YouTube will start charging for videos in 10 years' time. Well, that very intelligent, please send me that article. Please text me that article, because these are the articles that I'm over. I mean, after, sorry, not over. I'm after them. Text me the link to that. It's my number. Anyone has a good story, text me the story. So when Romeo Bacala, how are you, buddy? My gloves are off. Now it's bare knuckles. It is. No doubt about that, Romeo. What happened today, I took the gloves off. Now it's just street fight with these guys. And I'm willing to do it. I mean, I literally almost, like today, I had 3 security guys who were extremely unprofessional. There was one very professional one. And I've worked with a lot of security people, and I know what a security guard, a security professional should do and should not do. And I was dealing with 3 amateurs in front of me. A security guard's duty is not to be right in your face, in your space. There should be a little bit of a distance and start talking and diffusing. That is a security's job, not escalating. But when I had 3 people in my face ready to touch me, ready to rip me out of Uber, and I'd done nothing wrong. And then we raised my voice. That's because this daily anger, that energy in that hub is so toxic. Every single day, you have angry people going into the Los Angeles hub, into these other hubs. Anger. I want my money. You underpaid me. You didn't pay me out on that trip. You didn't pay me out the fees, the cleaning fees. And you know what? People stand for the principle of whether it's $1, $5, $50, or $500, you want to get paid, right? And I'm going in there, and it's a principle. I want to get paid, and they owe me a lot of money. And then every friggin' story under the sun why they will not pay out. One conflicting story after the other why they wouldn't. And then can't resolve it, are not willing to sit down and discuss how do we get this resolved, but would rather screw over yet another driver over thousands and thousands of dollars and then set the security on that individual, namely me, and try to drag me out. I set my boundaries. I said, back off. You're in my space, and I highly, highly suggest you do not touch me, not even with your finger. I'm warning you, do not touch me. You'll regret it, right? And when you say that in such a fashion that you ready, and you will quickly pull that trigger, right? Gloves off. It was a smart move for these three youngsters, these three unprofessional security guards, to take a step back. They could see it was almost game on, right? And all I asked is I wanted safe passage. I wanted to walk out on my own and speak to the main guy, which I did. And that is a guy I respect. And, I wonder if I'd be able to even maybe find that's the guy. And by the way, this is not a picture I took, because if I took this picture and published this, I'm not going to take the call, who's ever calling me now from Illinois, okay? Sorry, not this late. This is a picture this was shot by Christian C. in 2018. It's on Google. But this is the guy that's been there for years. This I regard as a friend, as a professional, this African-American gentleman, this security. He's at the LA Uber hub every single day. He was probably the guy that diffused today's situation. He was the guy who said, let's go outside and talk, but I want to record your conversation. And I said, I want you to record my conversation so that we have that evidence on record, so that I can one day maybe turn and subpoena that recording, or you take that recording to your superiors. But the way you treated me today, your company, not you, this individual, but your company, you understand something, people. You have Uber, and then you have a security company that works for Uber, right? I may be only able to go in arbitration with Uber, but I know ways now how to go to jury, to trial with Uber. But this is an independent contractor. I can go after their company right away because they were part of the problem, right? They were escalating the problem, right? They wanted to fight. I didn't come there to have a physical fight, right? Don't have to do that. I'd rather pay and go and watch a boxing fight, a good boxing fight, right? I'll go to a good boxing fight and pay to watch a fight. I don't want to have a fight. So when I was outside talking to him, and this is, by the way, again, this is a picture posted by someone on Google. He was recording me. And then one of those three youngsters who felt like I had dismissed and embarrassed him in front of all the other people, which I did. I said, you're extremely unprofessional. You don't know what you're doing. You don't understand security. Get out of my way. And he then had to come outside and inject himself into that conversation. And this guy, I said, dismiss him, send him back in. So we're not continuing the conversation until this guy is gone. So once again, I dismissed him and sent him back into the building with his help, because he was professional and knew that you stand a few feet apart and you have a conversation. And we had a great conversation. and I'll still speak highly about this guy years and years later, right? He's the only guy standing at the Los Angeles Uber hub, and they're keeping him there for a reason, right? So, this is not common. This is in 2018, this posting, beginning of 2018. So this is almost 2 years ago, right? One guy there, few guys, we're not going to show their face, but few guys at the counter, and then one security guard. Today, scenario looks very different. That place is packed with angry people. I'm listening to all the conversations. They have 6 security guards. So, and I've seen things escalate where there almost fights broke out, and people will fight for their money. So, well, I appreciate you for saying that, Bobby Z. Made my day, made my night. Always nice to hear, especially for a woman. Hey, you look so much younger. If a woman hears that, they're like, woo, they're happy. But yeah, that's what happened today. Rather interesting. Yeah, send me that screenshot, Tampa. I don't know who just called me there, but I'm not taking a call at 11 o'clock at night. Sorry, guys. The video recording they have, it's in the building. I'll subpoena the video. I'm not. You cannot walk into that building. That they deactivate you immediately. If you film and start taking photos of individuals, you're done. You're done. They've told me that a long time ago, and I've respected that. But the moment I'm outside in the public thing, I'll film. As you can see, I filmed. I made a video. Let me show you. This is how the day started. It was obviously my intention to resolve. Today is the day of reckoning. The day of reckoning. It's Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. Everybody's going back. I'm going to be turning in left here. You'll see the Uber sign in a second. There it is, my friend. I cannot film inside there. See? Nor will I. I don't want to break any laws. I don't want to have any confrontations today with security. I'm going to simply go in and make 100% sure I get an Uber manager. And I'm going to be referencing this video to the Uber manager today, telling him to watch it and learn. So, I went in there with the intentions to resolve, and that's why I took all of that. I always collect a lot of evidence, right? So if I'm filming myself and I'm filming this, and this is my intention, this is why I'm coming here. So I have a backup, I have a recording of that, right? I also very clearly state in the video that I will not film inside because it's not my intention to break the law. Now, the one guy, which is great, we're talking about this. The one guy, security guy who was in my face said, you were recording. And I said, absolutely not. My phone's in my pocket. How can I be recording? And, when push comes to shove on the day, and they have people say, oh, well, we deactivated him, whatever, because he was filming. I'll say, well, let's look at this video and show you what my true intentions were, right? This was the video of me driving in. I clearly state I will not film in there because I know that's the law. So if I'm already pre the visit telling any judge, any arbitrator, it's not my intention to film there, here it is, right? So, these guys can jump in a cold lake, in a very, very cold lake. And the way that's the security, the way this Angela treated me today, I'm taking action, folks. I'm bringing it to them. Now we're playing chess. One pawn after the other. Drop, 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 drop. Right, until I get to the king. Tell you that. Jane Ray, have a good night. Get some good, sweet dreams to you. So, it's the way it is, folks. It's my personality. I do not like to be trodden on. I do not like to be, I'm a giver. I will do, but don't take advantage of me, right? And they have. Should rather take a step back and say, hey, what have the Kevins, what have the Dustins, what have the Torsons, what have the Harrys done for our company? They've helped build our company. They've helped give people jobs. They've helped get us to the IPO. They've helped us make us billionaires. They've helped our house. They've helped, you know what I mean? So this is the picture that they don't see. We're trying to help this guy. We're trying to help this guy fix this type of stuff. But the problem is when an ostrich, Darrow the ostrich, has his head in the sand, right? He can't see anything, right? How can Darrow the ostrich see anything, right? And what you need is clarity, Darrow, like clear vision. I don't think you can even see through these glasses. Good night. Good night to all the people if you're on the East Coast. Go to bed. Go to bed. Good night. Go to bed. God bless you. Go to bed because you need some rest. We were hanging in here at about 11. You guys are already like 2 a.m. I do not want to keep you up. Okay. And I fully 100% appreciate you hanging in for so long, my East Coast crowd. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here to this point. Yeah, Jared, it was my intention to help. It was my intention to fix, to make better. And I got the most fucking shameful treatment today. Now, there were several people there that knew me from my channel, but then there were 80, 90 other people there today that did not know me. And what they did is they tried to humiliate me in front of those people, local in as well. I said, I understand. This is how you like to resolve things. I understand you like to intimidate people. I understand you don't like to solve problems, but you enjoy walking away from problems. And if you cannot resolve a problem and you feel cornered, you call your security. I understand how you operate. I'll tell you what, I'll leave on my terms. And I highly, highly suggest these individuals they were literally almost standing on my shoes, right? Like, highly suggest you get out of my range, right? And the main thing is, don't make body contact with me. Because in my language, in my street language, if you make body contact with me, it's basically game on, right? I'm not going to be escorted out. I don't know what their touch, or whether they lunge forward, or they try to grab me and drag me out, or they try to grab me and punch me. Any arm, any leg coming in my direction, it's a natural reflex, right? Step aside, boom. So I didn't want to do that. So all I just asked, I said, there's the door. Just let me walk out, please. Just dignity, right? Just give me some dignity. Let me walk out. But she shouting across the room, trying to get everybody's attention, trying to make me look bad, feel bad. I wouldn't take it. So, didn't go down the like tail between my legs and just walked out. And as I'm walking out, I said, can the head of security please meet me outside? I'm saying it loud and clear as I'm walking outside. Excuse me, can the head of security, the guy, right, that particular guy that I just showed you, please meet me outside so we can continue the conversation. At that point, the guy says, but I have to record the conversation. And I said, you may gladly record the conversation. I would love to have this on record, right? So whoever was at the Uber hub today, collecting money from Uber, let me tell you very loud and clear, crystal clear, that whatever you guys are running there is not working, right? Whatever the manager is trying to manage there, he's not managing. Whatever the front office is trying to correct or help or support, they're not helping, right? There needs to be a retraining how to deal with people, right? How to diffuse issues. And when you're constantly taking that energy on as a staff member there all day long, anger, it builds up. I understand that. Don't do that type of job. If you don't like that job, if you hate that job, don't do it. This girl that I spoke to in the first 2 minutes hated her job. I could feel it. The energy was just oozing off her. I hate my job. I, Angela, hate my job. And it's not if it's a girl or guy, it doesn't matter. I could have said, I, John, hate my job. This was a girl who hated being there. And who knows what she's getting? Maybe she's getting minimum wage, $15. I don't know. But she was not enjoying her job. And because of that, it was her intention to make my life miserable. There is no need to, if I'm shouting around there and screaming and performing, I understand, get the person out. Yes, in a restaurant manager, get that guest out, right? I understand that. But I was talking like I'm talking now. It was very calm. And there was no need to try and strong arm me and have three people literally, you see my face, like this is how I went back. I'm like, guys, you're too close, but back off. To the point where I try to back off, but I was up against the counter. My back was against the counter. It's actually a good position to be in, with your back to the counter. It really is. I'm not going to go into details, but it's a good position to be in. But, I wanted that space. I just wanted to walk out. So I do have a big issue with that security company. It was extremely unprofessional. Uber, I know already they're unprofessional. They don't have to prove that to me. They've already proven that to me time and time and time again. Journey with Jordan, maybe. It's a possibility. Were you going to fight them 6-on-1? My answer to that, Journey, is in Vegas. I did an 8-to-1. Ask the other 8. Right? I grew up with very, very professional boxers who've won many, many titles. So there's people I grew up around in the gym, boxing gym, still know in the United States and in South Africa. I know a lot of boxers, right? They've really dialed into that thing. So do I want to do that? No. That's not my intent, but if I have to, I will. Yay, good-looking honky. We welcome you. You're welcome, my friend. We don't judge. The only thing we just ask everyone, and that goes for everyone, is like, we do not have to troll or hate. We welcome anyone, every country. Anyone is here. This is a good Mazarov. It's a good thing because it helps me put more time now into GOAT. Everything works out for a reason in life, right? Everything does. Portland's in the house. How are you? You're a driver, right? So, I'm going to pay people now to do what they have to do to Uber and Lyft, and I will go after my money, right? And, I'm committed tomorrow again. I have meetings 3:00 with the GOAT team. Cool. Someone says, I filed a complaint with the labor board. Good for you. Eddie Lemus in the house. Good morning, my friend. Vegas, how are you, buddy? Vegas is always alive. Vegas is cooking right now, man. Vegas is alive and cooking at 11 o'clock your side there? That type of behavior that they displayed to me today is not newsworthy. I package that up in the bigger picture, right? I package that up, in the press release. I don't want to make a press release and a media thing around that incident. It's you got to take that as one of the ingredients of a good press release, just to show how the people operate. Yes, will it be worded into a good press release because it was my intent to come with evidence and get things clarified for me and for many other drivers. I know that many other drivers received the same treatment as I did on this issue, right? And it's they're just holding on to all of this money. And last week, for the first time, whether they want to punish me, whether they think that my channel's become too edgy or I'm too outspoken, but last week this Monday was the first time they kept all my numbers on 0.00. I made all the money, it's there, showing them, and I'm just asking them why they were not paying out. The account was active. Why are you not paying this money out? And this excuse, that excuse, well, can't really, just tell me, right? Just tell me why. For example, let me just show you here. Let me show you a screenshot, right? If you see on the top there, that driver did 114 of 100 trips, right? Maui. That 50 was supposed to be in my account. Right at the bottom, the driver did 125 of 100 trips. That $10 was supposed to be, and it goes on and on and on like that, right? These are all people that I recruit from all corners of the country. They don't pay me for all my international. I refer a lot of international people, right? But they're holding on to all that money, and they're not paying out. They're not giving any reasons to pay out. So when I met with the head of security, I said, look, and he was recording me. This was my argument. I said, hey, how many hours do you work a week? So he said, well, I do this I do 30 hours. I said, okay. So am I accurate in saying you're doing about 120 hours per month? Yeah. So let's just say you're getting $30 per hour and you're making $3,600. Does that sound fairly accurate? And he goes, yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. So I said, imagine at the end of the month, you calculated your hours and you're expecting to be paid $3,600, and you go to your boss and say, I'm here to pick up my check. And you open up your check, and instead of 120 hours, he's paid you out for 15 hours. He's paid you out $500-$600, and he's withheld $3,000. And you say, but hold on, I worked 120 hours and I should be getting 36. Why are you paying me $6? Well, we can't really talk about that. We can't talk about that. Well, was I wearing the wrong shirt? Was I wearing the wrong tie? Because I didn't do anything wrong. Why is my check not here for $3,600? And I said, this is the same way, the same language, the same argument I'm making with Uber, right? If I've earned so and so many thousand per week, why are you putting, and you're keeping me active, you're taking my referrals, because I am marketing for you. You're taking them, right, every day. New people every single day. And you're gladly taking them. And you're happy that they drive for you. But you're not paying me out. is the very first time, folks. I don't really share numbers very often, right? I'm not going to share all my numbers, but is the very first time, you know, I'm going to share this with you, right? When did this week, you know, 0.00. It's never happened to me. Everything is on 0. Everything. Like, okay, are you having technical problems? Because 2 or 3 of your emails, let me just show you this again. So this is what's so freakishly bizarre, right? I want to really share this with you because, you know, with me, I'm an open book when it comes to just putting this information out there. Trying to find this email from a manager at Uber. So on the week that I had 0.00, I get this email, right? And let me just read it to you. Report multiple missing incorrect rider referrals. Hi, Torsten. I understand that you need help regarding the referral earnings, right? I mean, there were driver earnings and referral earnings, but I was specifically talking about referral earnings. I'll be glad to sort this out. This is one of many, many emails I got that week, right? I reviewed your account and can see that the required number of trips for this referral were very recently met. And I had sent them multiple names. It can sometimes take 48 to 72 hours for the referral amounts to process and reflect on your payment. Rest assured that the invitation is accurately listed on your account, and I can confirm that the referral reward. If you do not see the referral amount reflected on your payment statement within 48 hours, feel free to reach out again and we'll take another look. I hope this helps. If there's anything you'd like me to go over, please let us know. Now, those 48 hours, those 72 hours have come and gone a long time ago. And this is what I was trying to show the Uber Hub today, is that I have multiple different conflicting messages. Why are they not paying me? Why are they withholding other numbers from previous weeks, from previous months? And it's added up to a lot of money, right? So you would also kick up a storm if you owed all this money, or if you weren't paid out on certain fares and trips. You'd go down there. And the answer was, well, we're not going to discuss this. Security, get him out. And I think they said that because the amount is really high, right? This is goes back till 2018, and they've been doing this to me. And because I exposed some of the ways live in front of management, put it out there, showed them how they were moving monies, fudging monies, stealing monies. I've done many videos on that, right? very basic accounting stuff here, folks, and laying it out, I caught them out. They probably didn't think that I keep records of every single screenshot, every single driver, whether they reach or don't reach their targets. I keep the evidence, right? And well, here's the thing, Tampa Storm. So you say stop referring people. That's only adding to the problem. Folks think they're going to strike it rich, but I got news for you. You ain't. So my question to you is, Tampa Storm, do you drive? Do you drive? Answer that question. Christopher A., how are you doing? I'm pretty chill now. I can tell you I was not happy this afternoon. I really wasn't. I felt like, wow, I've given my heart and soul, and I've had some people do some projections on what I've made for that company. You know, many of the drivers that I've referred, many of them have done 15, 20,000 trips. That adds up, right? Yeah, there are many members of many different groups that want to reach out to me and get some exposure on the platform. That's cool. I like it, but you know, I always need to know the true intentions where companies like Gig Workers Rising, where Mobile Workers Alliance, you know, if these are just people to try to get people into their union or Teamsters, feeding on disgruntled and unhappy drivers in order to make their own numbers. I'm not going to be your little platform and your little bitch to do that work for you. It's not going to happen. That's not who I am. But if you come to me with true intentions, like the other day you had the gentleman Edward Escobar on my show, and the reason I'd sat down with him and spoken to him prior up in North Cali, and I did all my research on him, and that's a guy I'll invite on my show. So, you know, if Gig Workers Rising wants to sit down with me, they have to show, hey, this is who we are, this is who we affiliated with, this is where we're coming from, right? If you've had any backroom discussions with other unions, SCIC, or if you've had backroom discussions with Uber that the drivers don't know about, you're automatically out, right? You know, so put your cards on the table, Gig Worker Rising, and show us who you are. So you've been, Tampa Storm, you've been a driver for 3 years and you don't think it's right. From what I'm hearing from you is that more drivers should not be recruited in your market. Am I correct in saying that when I heard you say stop referring drivers in the markets? So am I hearing that you should be entitled to that job in your market and others should not be? Is that what I'm hearing from you? Be careful how you answer that one. Because let me tell you something, there's such a saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't just say it applies to me. I can drive, but he should not be recruited. She should not be recruited into my market. I've seen a lot of people with this type of thinking. I'm not saying you like that. That's why I'm feeling you out. I'm asking you very, very targeted questions, right? And just answer those questions. Then you're diverting now, and you say, when I first started driving, it was $2.25 per mile. I asked a specific question. You said stop recruiting drivers in this market. My question to you was, are you a driver in that market? And you said, yes, I've been driving for 3 years. My next question to you was, so you driving in this market, but others, he or she may not be recruited in your market? And I'm still waiting on the answer from you. It's a call center letter from overseas management. They had useless GoPro shopping website users, Filipino site for their IT, a lot of rest assured emails. Rest assured. Okay, hang on, Tampa. You're showing your true colors, my friend. So referring new drivers not only adds to the oversaturated issue, but keeps Uber lowering rates because new drivers keep coming on. So what I'm hearing from you loud and clear, but reading between the lines, you can drive in that market, but new drivers should not be recruited in that market. That's basically your market and nobody else should drive in it, right? You're wrong, buddy. Because if I don't sign them up, if Jack doesn't sign them up, if Jill doesn't sign them up, they need a job. And guess who they'll go to Uber. So it's not me. If I can monetize that referral, that he or she is going to sign up anyway. You have no control whatsoever over Jack and Jill that's going to sign up in your market, right? So when you start pointing fingers at other people who are recruiting drivers and say, you should stop recruiting, and in the same line, in the same breath, saying, I'm driving in that market, but you should stop recruiting new drivers, you have what they call the classic me syndrome. It only applies to me. I should be making money in this market, nobody else. This is a free enterprise. It's called capitalism. That's the environment you're working in. There could be 3 or 4 pizzerias on the same road, right? There could be a church and another church 3 roads down, right? Maybe he who has the best preacher will bring in the money, right? So the bottom line is whether you're driving X or XL, and there's people joining every single day. In life, the strongest, the smartest, and the fittest survive, right? That is the message I'm going to give you, Tampa. And if you can embrace that, I think you'll do well. But the me approach does not fly with Torsten Kuhn. It doesn't. So now you're saying I'm not saying that new drivers can't come on. New drivers will come on whether you like it or not. That student who needs a job is looking for a job, and his friend said, hey, why don't you drive for Uber? You have no control over the fluctuation of demand and supply of drivers in a city. It fluctuates, and this is how it fluctuates. There are specific times when there's spikes, right, when drivers enter the market. And usually that's over the summer when a lot of the college kids realize, hey, I need money, right? I need to make money. I'm not studying right now. I have 3 months off. I need money. Hey, hang on, let me just see. Maybe I can get dad or mom's car. I can get my own Civic or Toyota. I can sign up, right? And you have a huge surge of drivers coming in, right? It's truly Uber and Lyft, just so that you understand how the referrals, I can give you a lot of information because I know a lot about it, right? The numbers that are thrown at drivers as far as incentives to join are based on the supply and demand of drivers that Uber and Lyft has in any given city on a given day. If they need drivers in LA, they will up the bonuses, right? So the bottom line is, right, I think it's unfair to say, or some people say, hey, stop recruiting. If I don't get them, Harry gets them. If Harry doesn't get them, Dustin gets them. If Dustin, Harry, or Torsten doesn't get them, maybe Gio gets them. If Gio, Torsten, Harry, and Dustin doesn't get them, Uber or Lyft gets them directly through an ad, through a click-through, through a blog, through a Uber or Lyft ad running within the people will ultimately end in a cul-de-sac and sign up. Why? Because they're just like Tampa Storm, just like Torsten, they need a job. So you have zero control over who joins in what city on what given day. I can tell you that's one arena I'll debate anyone on because I know a lot about it, right? And when I look at a business, any business, right? I have 2 other businesses as well, right? But when I look at the rideshare business, and everyone should think this way, is this truly just about driving? Is this just about owning a Camry and driving people from A to B and having my stickers in the window and making money that way? No, it's not. It's so much more. So what are the other plugins in this industry that I, as a owner of a car, driving with Uber and Lyft, can make additional money on? Okay, so now I've already bought the car. I'm gathering a lot of knowledge with Uber and Lyft. I'm driving, doing passengers. I've always said and will always preach, if you're not going out and paying the money for your private chauffeur license, your TCP, your limo license, you're not using the maximum benefit of your car. No matter what category you drive in, right? You should be also starting to recruit private clients and pocketing 100% of the proceeds. Now you have a whole range of other plugins, referrals, national referrals, international referrals, Amazon affiliates selling products, right? Creating your own education platform, consulting, leasing out vehicles, leasing out X vehicles, leasing out SUV vehicles, on and on and on and on. There's just so many ways you can monetize rideshare. It's up to you, not up to me. It's up to you to go out and explore and say, hey, I put this money in the Camry. I have an additional $1,500. How can I apply my Camry, the $1,500, the Lyft platform, the Uber platform that I have, and add so that I have at least 5 or 6 streams of income. Those videos are in my channels. You'll find them. They're in many other channels. Many other people talk about them. And it's up to you to go and this is not an education 10 minutes directed at any individual. I'm just saying this in general terms, right? That very often what people feel like, okay, I've put this money into one car, being definitely let down by Lyft. I'm definitely being let down by Uber, me, the driver, the ex-driver, let's say in Tampa, and hurting a bit with the numbers, driving more to make up that deficit, right? But at the end of the day, what I haven't done yet is explored all the other avenues. So you've got to ask yourself, let's be honest, who has gone out, set up their own YouTube channel? Who's going out there marketing their Lyft and Uber codes? Who's going out and has gone to Amazon and signed up as an affiliate and researched all the products and created an online shop? You can do it, right? Who has gone out and spent the $15 with GoDaddy and bought a domain name? Who has gone out and spent the additional $50 to $100 per year with Bluehost or GoDaddy to set up their hosting station, right, for their shopping cart, for their blog, right? So sometimes you spend little to get a lot, but you got to know what to spend the little on, right? And you got to invest those hours and research and find out how you can make the money in this game. I can tell you at least 2 of the most lucrative angles is you're obviously buying cars and leasing out to other Uber and Lyft drivers. Another very, very lucrative angle, obviously, is recruiting new drivers and getting paid for them, right? In this case today, not getting paid for them by Uber, right? But and then what else would be another big one? A big one. I'm talking a lucrative one. Yes, the private, the TCP, your own limo license. So that if you have a portfolio of private clients, which I truly enjoy driving, truly enjoy the relationships with them, that like you're making good money, you know. On some Saturdays or Sundays, I'm not breaking my back, you know, and I'm making $500 to $1,000 for a few trips, right? That's with the fares, with the tips included. So, but how would I have ever gotten there? You know, had I not tried out Uber and Lyft, had I not seen the potential for more, I wouldn't have gotten there. So your launch pad is truly Uber and Lyft. It really is, right? Abstract Echo, how are you? But just take a step back on a quiet Sunday and just like say, okay, pen to paper. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I still need to do, right? And you just mark them off. within 2 hours, I can tell you, you can have an Amazon affiliate store set up, right? Within 2 weeks, you can have your own teachable platform. That teachable platform, selling training courses, makes me a lot of money each month, right? But I took the time and invested to shoot the videos, to use good techie guys explain to me how to put it together. So I'm definitely not the genius when it comes to that, right? And then you have to have a pad, a launching pad where you can have those links and advertise a training platform, right? And that happens to be the channel. How do you get a channel? You actually have to physically set up a Gmail and a YouTube channel and start somewhere. And the best way to start is start making some little local homegrown videos in your city. Hey, I'm here at the Chicago airport. Hey, I'm here at the San Jose airport. Hey, I'm over here in Burbank driving in this area making money. Hey, this is how you handle Hollywood nightlife, you know. This is how I handle the pier. This is how I handle the Miami beaches. This is how I handle the theme parks in Orlando. And there is literally no excuse. Every single one, right? Your Abstract Echo, your Tampa Storm, Haben, Eurodriver, every single one should have their own channel, right? Now, if you happen to enjoy engaging and speaking, take it a step further. Start creating live streams, right? Good money in live streams. There really is, right? Especially because of they get really good rankings and ratings in the search engines with Google. You get a lot of traffic from them, and you get paid by YouTube for that traffic. You monetize that traffic because you're serving ads, right? So if you're having a 2-hour 20 video live feed as we're having right now, right? And people just spend, goes dark once in a while, apologize, but people are spending an hour looking at it. You're serving so many ads and you're making money, right? So you can generate a lot of extra income from YouTube each month, right? That is sort of a given. On the 23rd, my money from YouTube is in my account. Okay, that, by the way, is a plug-in into the rideshare business. That's one additional money stream that you can rely on each month, as long as you bring content, as long as you engage with your online family, as long as you keep topics like this alive and stop talking about real things, right? You can earn money. So, you know, so South Coast Ride says need to change to a car that fits all the categories, you see? So now that, to me, that's a smart decision, right? I need to find a car that fits into all the categories. And then the moment you are in all these new categories and you're realizing, wow, I never realized that that category brought that type of client, passenger, and you could make that type of money, right? You only get there is because you come up with a decision, you've researched like South Coast Ride, and you've said, look, I am offloading this Prius, right? It served its purpose. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking at a car that can fit into almost all. There are cars out there that fit into a lot of different categories, and suddenly everything starts changing. You know, especially the income, the tips. The tips, my friends, on SUV or Lux or Excel are very, very different to the X trips or to those people trying to save money on pool. You will never get tipped by those pool people. Dustin's making way more money than I am on YouTube, no doubt about it. But like, he's made it his main, you know, I can't be on YouTube all day. He can be, right? He's made that his main and he's good at it, right? And he completely deserves. I can see how he can make $2,800 to $3,500 a month on YouTube. And that's very impressive. It really is. You've got to take your hat off to that, right? And I believe him. I have conversations with him. I believe him, right? But, you know, that wouldn't fit into my lifestyle. I enjoy running my other stuff. I enjoy having the time with my children. And I definitely enjoy a lot of free time, right? I like quality time. So here and there, to fit in a live stream, for example, at 12 o'clock at night, if it's doable, do it. If you can connect, drive the message forward, do it. If you can add and make some dollars while having fun, even better. So I'm super happy, super proud of Dustin if he's pushing those numbers, and he completely deserves it. He works hard. He's worked hard on his channel to get it to where it is. And that is a very true statement, that not every market is the same. The Lux line here is worthless. So, there's certain markets where Lux just absolutely doesn't work. But let's take it a step further. If you have that car and you're in the Uber Lux and the Lyft Lux, and you have the TCP, and you're steadily growing your private client base, your clientele, and where you are not handing over 40, 50% of that trip to Uber and Lyft, but that goes into your pocket, now you feel very rewarded. It's very rewarding to put 100% of the proceeds into your pocket, because then you've driven every mile, deserved, earned every dollar, right? Obviously, less your gas expenses, less your maintenance expenses, but it truly justifies paying for that TCP license, paying for the additional commercial insurance. Those additional monthly costs completely justify applying and waiting and going through the steps of getting that state license so that you can do private trips. There's nothing more rewarding than getting paid through Venmo or cash, and that $100 or that $200 on that trip, every cent of that, every dollar of that goes into your pocket, right? Okay, folks. I'm bailing out at 2:30. You guys get some rest, man. You guys need to get some rest. I need to get some rest. But hey, as always, I love the interaction, the conversations, the feedback, the edginess sometimes, the cockiness sometimes, the laughs, the jokes. Mazarov Israel, my brother. Good night, my friend. Bam, check that out. Lighting up the room, Mazarov style. Louis Houtron, where are you from? From France? Vive la France, monsieur. Louis Houtron. I like the name. It's got a good ring to it. Chicks must love it. California, California. Jolbert Arami, good night, my friend. Hope you sleep well. Get some good rest, buddy. April M, have a good night. Euro driver. Viva California, Viva California. Gotta love Cali, baby. Shingon, I love it. I love Cali. A great, great state. So much to do. And I feel safe here. Feel good. Chris Blanks in the house. Good night, my friend. You guys rock. You really do. It's us, not me, not just you. It's us together. We're making a difference. Keeping the conversation going with us, connecting with the public, you creating the conversation, allowing us to connect with the public, educate the public on big issues like this, bringing awareness to ostrich head in the sand type of guys. We're getting stuff done. Bonsoir. Arrivederci Roma. Auf Wiedersehen. Gute Nacht. Merci. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I'll show you a little picture here that I keep. One of my favorite little pictures. That's my little boy when he was a little baby. A love button. I just couldn't, in my wildest dreams, like, he's basically her age there, right? I just couldn't believe that this would ever happen to him. So got to keep on loving our little ones. And you're still my little one, although, you've seen him, Ryan. That's Ryan, my little son Ryan, who's been in some of my live streams. And I can tell you with Ryan, Ryan's been in a couple of movies. He's been at the Cannes Film Festival. They won the best, the movie was. They won the best, it was the best zombie movie. He played one of the main characters. He's been in many TV commercials. And this is not us pushing him. This is not the parents. This is him saying, hey, Dad, I want to look into this. I want to explore this. Hey, Dad, I'd like to do stand-up comedy. How old are you? He was 11. So we took him down there. The other one was doing it, the older one. And then he said, hey, to the instructor, I really want to do this. And the guy says, well, you got to come back when you're 13, maybe. I'll look at you 13. No, he said, just give me a chance. So he's sitting in the audience most of the time, watching the kids do this. And then, like, the one, he just walks up to the guy and says, can I just do this? Like, and the guy comes over to me as the parent, says, like, look, it's hard for me to deny this little 11-year-old, so let's throw him up on stage. And this is improv stuff, right? So he was a little nervous. He did well. The second time he did better. The third time, he was 11 and was doing little child comedy improv there, right? So he is not afraid of the limelight, not afraid of the stage. I think that's a good thing. You've got to keep it real, though. You got to keep your kids' feet on the ground. They got to, can't just all be put on a platter for them on a golden plate. They've got to work. They've got to learn how to work. They've got to learn how to earn things, right? So, anybody who has kids out there, give them a hug tonight before you go to bed. They might already be in dreamland, I do want my kid to get his channel off the ground. He's already set it up and everything, and he does a little bit of twitching and gaming and Fortniting and making few little cents here and few little cents there. But you got to start somewhere and learn, right? Teach them young, as they say. Teach them young. Abstract Echo, you're a good man, I can tell. I really enjoy all your feedback, as are you, Uber Eats Pro. It's Bao. Are you from Brazil, my friend? How are you? Casper. Bao TV. Where is that from? Is that Brazil? Time to make money, honey. Exactly. All right, folks. I've spoken enough. You guys must be sick of my voice by now. So I'm bailing out, taking the parachute, jumping out of this plane at 2:33. I exit the door. Parachute opens up. And we go down. Arrivederci. You guys have an awesome, awesome night. If you're starting your day, go out, make cash. If you're going to bed right now, get some good rest. Set your intentions for tomorrow. Peace, my friend. Roberto, 45. What happened? If you just tuned in, go to the beginning of the movie. This little beautiful little angel lost her life, and we're looking for changes around safety and security. It's got to get better. And Mr. Ostrich head in the sand guy here, he needs to really step it up and do something. Or get rid of him. Night, night, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good night.